True love is the answer. Yapariseze. Otokoi. Trey Parker. As we live and breathe on this planet, it is our responsibility to be our greatermost self. This is how to lead by example. Live life as art and perform for humanity, for America. Doing this thing, Trey, it means we are I I can see that we are beginning and causing a great ascension, a lineage of heroes. It is a true epiphany for mankind. And the reason I halted is because I was going to say, us doing this means that we're going to be joining in a great legend of heroes and such. And then I just sort of realized that we're sort of, you know, we're sort of sourcing a great stamina and a courage that is real. I think it's so important that America rises up. And I mean, you can see it in the times and everything. The culture of America is right at this age, ready to stand up, ready to be a great man, ready to be a hero. So today, I have to say, I've been having the best day of my life. I'm really excited about the signs I'm seeing. Of course, the slump in the political scene is sort of continuing in a devastating way. We need to not draw our assumptions from the collapse and the hodgepodge of Trump and all this business. But we need to figure out how to be excited about a candidate who's talking about picking up garbage and viable plans and methods to get us there. Uh, the list of evidence is sure. But sometimes, for different types of wizards, myself and Trey, we seek, different types of omens or, the types of things that persuade us is like a little bit different. And all for the right reason. I do herald that Trey is the smartest man that I know. Um, and I don't think that we have missed a beat. I don't think we're too late. I think we just need to figure out how to, enthuse ourselves and, you know, cause the sort of security of the family unit so that we can all kind of sort of feel excited about simply having an epiphany in our lifetime. We're alive, and it's like everything can change. We can make the future brighter. It's exciting. And so my campaign and my pattern and sort of my presentation is this character who, you know, encourages people to better themselves. And it's not like, because Pan is someone who really understands the benefits of working on yourself and building yourself up. Pan's obviously a huge fan of, customizing yourself, building yourself up. In those realms, there are the moral laws within, the moral treatment of our artwork, of our characters, etc. Is severe and is intense. And my thing is more to, um, I'm trying to say, what I do as a person is just work all the time. And that's when I I get like a tiny iota of like a karmic plateau where I've done that, like I'll like take care of like Walt Disney or, the cops or, you know, one of these huge things. I'll take care of it and I'm like, all right, you guys, you got what you need. And then, I'm like, "Fring," I have like this tiny little unicorn sliver of a moment where it opens up and you can be like, oh yes, and then you can think about sort of like what would you most want for yourself. There's like these realms where you could potentially sort of have like an experience that you want to have, but isn't it that while we're living here, there's a responsibility on our bones. There's a responsibility in our breath. And while these people, speak in tongues and all this, it's for the intelligent and those who are in a position to understand. Like South Park Studios, you guys are the peak of, I can't compare you to anyone else's, especially because a lot of, communication companies aren't, based off of a single person like Trey Parker. Okay, but that's to our benefit. And I think that what we're going to find here is we're getting into a realm where we're actually considering, whoa, okay, this guy is serious. All right, so we kind of had like a bit of a traffic jam, to begin with. But could this possibly be, to our strength? Can we figure out how this actually could work? Because all this I'm saying is like open up like the opportunity. Um, it's like a fight club, and it's where like people could be like, I have an idea and I had here's, like, and then like, boom, change the world. It's freaking exciting. And so, the strength that Randolph Pan Williams brings to the tree of Trey Parker, you know, I'm not asking for an inappropriate thing. And what the recourse of that is that Trey is going to have to take his time and freaking figure things out and, assess himself and make a decision. And he has that freedom to do so. And perhaps in the human languages, there might have been a time when I felt like, this is just, I don't feel like these guys in California are into what I'm talking about. But then, what would happen is like Earth, like as soon as like I start to like run out of like a stamina and be like, what do you guys think? And all of a sudden it's like, like, whoa, or two earthquakes, like, oh, that was, for me, that's mind boggling because it's very much about, for Earth, Earth really wants this to happen, wants the green wolf to happen. Okay, also, I didn't want to like, Trey, I'm saying, I've just been meditating all day today and working really hard. Earth is really hard on me also. And you want to be sure about certain trajectories and where Trey is like, well, no, I actually want to know, can this actually happen and it being legal and safe for everyone to, you know, if that's what I want to know. Um, I'm just trying to say, like, on a personal level, you know, Earth continuously kicks my ass and is always pushing me to do more and work harder. And I know that Earth is right to do so. And sometimes I'm meditating and you're like you visualize something and you see like you're like, oh, a beautiful goddess, and then there's sort of like maybe a bad feeling or something, and I just be like, I spent all my life working hard and meditating and stuff, and I'm at this point and I'm finding like a remedy or like a window or something, and how dare you, dark shadows. It's just this like verklempt of the system of the down, like, oh, this is how it is for humans, but that's not nature and it's not natural. And this is somehow their defense? No. The children deserve better. And when we manifest something that is greater than what is available, it is our responsibility morally, the moral law within, to supply it. And I see Mother Nature insisting on this way. I just wanted to make it clear on a personal level. Earth and I have a very close relationship. In my existence, in my eternity, I feel that the stone of Earth is what caused my arrival, and you could equate it to gravity or clockwork. Uh, Obviously, it's a full image thing, and so everything is involved with our arrival. And so make it powerful and make it beautiful because there's only one of you. There's only this one person who is each one of you. And that's what's fantastic. And if we have a government that is upholding that, return to honor, actually support people, would be exactly what we're aiming for. And I think we're going to find. So I might have mentioned, we're gonna find, people coming out of the woodwork helping us and things happening. And just the thing is just gonna take off. Okay. Um, I feel it in my being. I feel it very strongly. It's passionate, it's powerful, and it's good. And I know how important it is for magic to be there. And when we have this sort of story where there's visuals and a narrative or, just some structure, at least then people are spoken to. And I don't feel that these people who are running against Trump and they'll make like some, like a tweet that's like slightly edgy in its vocabulary. But I don't see the strength in them that is required to overhaul what's needed and all this and you'd be like, well, hold on a second, Pan of the Wild. Why, you're coming out here and you're this, amazing character, but you're acting like if we don't do the appropriate thing, there's going to be like some sort of apocalypse or a war. The reality is that the strength of Pantray seed right now is, and the resolve for us to produce the green wolf is what is holding back a dark tide. And you might ask me again, like, what is telling you that this needs to happen? Because I want to be sure that I'm not getting sucker punched by reality. That's not the way things work, people. Okay, if you're seeing a divine sign, if you see something that's good, okay, inside of that there might be like you know, little problems in it, but there's a vein inside of it that's a princess, a little light, a little fairy that's saying, you know, true love, and it's real, and you need to pivot on that, even though there's like, algae and congestion all around the little light and spark, but you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. All right. Okay, so this is a little bit embarrassing, but so you know, in the past 5 years, like clockwork, um, um, my teeth have been falling out, like one every couple months, and to the point where now I just have my front teeth, and so I can't actually chew food. And you'd think that this is like a little bit particular, okay? But I think Earth is telling me that what's in like basically like a clock. He's saying, no, actually, like a little message in a bottle because Earth knows that, punching out teeth is not that is probably one of the most, uh, benign ways of like, something that could fall off your body. Okay, but it's like for me, it's an alarming thing, and it's basically like, okay, if Trey Parker produces Pan of the Wild, boom, he gets the implants and he's got his teeth back. Okay, so it's just like, it's like Earth is trying to, in his own as far as he can, and he's like, Earth's like, I'm trying to say something without, spooking you off or anything. Okay, so how do we know that this is like something else is going on that is a trouble behind the Trump, and if this and that, and if Trump is reelected, it leads to something awful. Okay, but can't you understand communication, enlightenment? If we speak to them and there's a green wolf and he's running for and he wins, I'm saying like I will do everything I can with my run to cause the effect I want to see because I'm always going to be doing that. It's my opus, it's my time to be a superhero. And I'm going to light up on, when I'm performing, there's going to be moments where people are just like, oh, just like, oh, boom, like that is it. And so it is not for us to worry about scripts or what is the content. Just understand that there is magic today between Trey and Pan. And that is the remedy. There will be those moments, a breakaway. And that's really the only time when that could happen because you need to capture that lightning in a bottle. You need to capture that moment of transcendence. And then for everyone watching, it's like, whoa, we're actually talking about the adult thing. This is awesome. But these guys, this is like, a kind of okay, all right, it's fine. These guys are fine. That's not the point, you guys. It's not the point. Okay, so the reason why I'd be like, okay, it looks like, if Trump gets reelected, we're looking at something really bad. And the reason I know that is because Earth kicked out my teeth. So it's not like Earth is like sending his juggernaut at you and Pan of the Wild's gonna, he's gonna, oh, and he's hurting Trey and da, da. You guys, you need to just, I've had like, it's been a lot of work for me to perform for you, but let me just reassure you, probably every time that I've performed, I've asked you guys to do your best, and I believe you have. And I've asked you to understand the urgency, and I believe you do. But we're not too late. And I want to thank you for arriving and spending time with me and meditating on this issue. Because your energy, your love, your interest, and your will to believe in something better than what we have, that's the strength of the true love seed. That's a strength that is happening here and now. And it's going to be important for everyone if we do get this thing off the ground and green light it and produce it. And I love you guys and I thank you. I didn't ever mean to feel ungrateful. You guys showing up and putting in the time means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, South Park Studios. Thank you. It is good. I just wanted to instill some of the energy with you guys about the fast pace, but you might be like, you know, can he really perform this fast pace? Yes, I can because of my method. And it's going to, like I said, explode in such a way where we're going to start having people helping with us and have a staff which is, broader than just, you know, a handful of people that are, localized. Okay, so, while that's sort of awkward, it's like about my teeth. I mean, like if I had, appropriate employment, getting implants is part of insurance and that would just be covered. Also, I did mention to Trey, I was thinking about, making it into like a film where we kind of talk about cyber implants and stuff. What is the next thing? In all of my intelligence, am I knowing about cyborg stuff? And recently in the news, they're talking about, brain implants and stuff. Um, what we have, what I have, what you guys have in your body right now is all that you need. We're staring into the perfect circle. We are kings and queens of the garden, and we need to wield our authority. And you guys working on this, thank you. And producing the Green Wolf is a testimony to the strength of America, the strength of a generation, etc. It's powerful, it's good, and it's meaningful. I had to go deep today, and I've been meditating and working really hard. And of course, I sort of prepared myself to do another performance, but I kept getting the messages of like, no, no, it's okay, it's okay. You don't need to perform right now, or whatever. And so it was great. I was able to look around and do some other stuff, and it just blew my mind because Earth is speaking to me every day and encouraging me. But in a way, it's sort of like, with knocking out my teeth, it's kind of like, I'm not upset. It's like on one hand, I've been losing weight, and I kind of feel like different. It's unique or whatever, but it's really like desperate. It's like, oh shit, like, and Earth is telling me, hey buddy, go ahead and live your life, and you have so much in your head. You need to tell them about what you know about, and that's going to mean so much. And really, in my run, that's going to cause that. But it's really not. It's like. I genuinely am preparing myself to be president. Okay. And I am asking you guys to understand like an epiphany of the youth because, this is a chance for adults to be amazing and be beyond what their capacity really is and say, I demand better for my children. And I understand, you know, oh, touch tablets. Oh, you know, there's so much more that can happen for our kids. There's so much more that needs to happen, and it's a shame to become like complacent and be like, well, I've got my iPhone, so we're in super civilization. I don't think so, you guys. Anyway, so I think that's sort of the desperate like feeling of like being on the edge of like a precipice where you're like, oh shit, it's the actual apocalypse that we were kind of like seminal preparing for. You understand? Like but you know I'm thinking that intelligence is what is needed. There's real depression in the world, and it can be broken by the Pantray solution, true love. And that is what I'm prepared to do. So having like I was thinking if I had like a studio apartment near to South Park Studios, you guys set me up with all my equipment and stuff, I could basically, with like an assistant or two, and like da da da, and I'll do my stuff, and then when I'm ready, like I just have Trey over and like take a couple of shots at whatever we're doing, and it would just be like organic, but that could definitely work. It's really an epiphany about, um, how to get all these things on film, and you know, so I don't mean to like impose myself inappropriately, but I mean to be bold and say like, you know, I would like to be at the writing desk and work with you guys on your next season of South Park. It's in 3 months from now, and it'd just be sort of perfect because I'd have employment, and then it sort of makes sense that I'm talking about Sons of South Park, and it just all kind of weaves together in an organic way. But it's just a little bit goofy, you know, when I just plain out say it. It's like, oh, but I'm 39, and I'm on the edge, and it's sort of like if I do have advanced knowledge about the future, maybe I'm just wearing it physically. As this is exactly what I've been describing humanity as, is like they've got a concave where they're kind of carrying the world on their shoulders, and I have to tell you guys, it's so important that we have an authentic wizard, Trey Parker, who loves and cares so passionately and true about his boys, the South Park characters. Um, and for that, that's the appropriate bedrock to build a substantial and permanent kingdom, which helps to represent the moral defense of our art work and our spirits and all this stuff. Because, surely we don't want to be producing something that would actually cause problems. Okay, so I understand that. And I think that there might be a way for us to format this so that it doesn't feel as though that that we're a distraction from these quote unquote serious candidates who are, quote unquote serious about removing Trump. I mean, like I wouldn't put it past these people, Trey. Okay, they talk about like if I become popular in the headlines, like for them this is like shark bait or something. Like that's what it's just it's a damn shame. But I'm like I'm not like I'm not supposing that this is gonna be like some thing here, but I did have like a bunch of enlightenment today about the Japan work, and I think really what I'd like to do is just be in my recording studio in such a capacity that I've got like horse blinders on, and I'm just not even gonna like really relate to those guys. But I think some people might have like a little bit too much um, of an idea like what if he's just a green wolf and he's just saying, oh, I'm thinking about running for president, or what if we launch his campaign without the pilot episode that he's talking about all the time. Okay, I don't think that would be appropriate. I think the whole point is that people see one single cartoon, the pilot, and at the end of it it's like Green Wolf 2020 president. He's absolute. That's the you can't first impressions so important. So while it's because if we were to say like, oh, he goes out and he's not ready yet to run for president, he's just tentatively testing the waters, that actually causes the problem that you're thinking that you would avoid by doing that action. Okay, so actually just presenting it as President Randolph Pan Williams Green Wolf actually solves all these problems. And the sort of technical issues we have are things that we could look up online and understand, and get registered with the Green Party and go through that network, get that set up. About my behavior, my performance shall only increase. And so I sort of have this a deep earthy relationship with this planet, and I am seeing signs of like, oh, oh no, eh, this is absolutely what you need to be doing, Pan. You absolutely need to run for president. No question. So I'm feeling that way. I'm seeing the signs, and the inspiration is like well, it's just sort of like in the day, you sort of, oh, there it is, and it's this sort of true love uh, experience. But I also, while it's sort of fun to think about like, oh, build a little, idea where like a little thought bubble where you can do almost anything. But here we are, we're stricken with bones and everything, and we gotta boom, boom, let's rush at it and use this heavy equipment. It's exciting, it's adult, it's real, it's passionate, and it's good. Um, okay, so I have absolutely complete, perfect, and utter, in all clarity, sincerity. I have complete confidence in my performance. That is certainly not my concern. I am passionate and powerful and a standout throughout my entire life. I've always been a little bit different, and living in a place causal the Happy Valley. And I've I was born innocently. And so it is sort of this puzzle about like orientation and stuff, but each of us has our own full kit of a challenge of like, oh, I have to figure out everything. It's like each of us has that workload. And maybe there is something that I can't see about myself, but I have absolute confidence in my run. Thank you, South Park Studios. I'm so desperate and eager to begin, and I'm seeing signs from Japan about their eagerness as well. And it upsets me when Trump goes and flirts with the idea, well, maybe we'll that is just like, what? It put me through the roof. Unfortunately, that was one of those things that got me reeling again. Like I started running out of steam, and I'm like, ah, shit, he's onto my stuff, man. I mean, that's the system of the down, giving this guy like some backdoor whatever, some hints and trades so that he can like, well, as if Trump is, preventing, oh, that's not that way. Trump is totally a zombie. It's, we can defeat him with the Green Wolf. But I'm sad to say, in all of my understanding, I don't see a champion in these other people running against him, and I don't. And I'm concerned about, you know, the reaction of people who are like I can like literally like 2 months ago there was nobody or that would that was saying Trump was good. Like there was like literally 2 months ago, like a bunch of people would there were like testimonials about people are like, oh, I voted for Trump, but now I see that wasn't right. You know, well, you know, goddamn. But at this point, it's almost like you can like feel things changing, and you see this crowd, you know, having a vorpal uh, energy bubble where that just like at his rally and stuff they start cheering this you know just the energy and everything, and it's like it's oddly inclining, and I'm just like, what the f. But anyway, like my basically my thing with Earth is like, with the teeth, Earth is like, buddy, Pan, you get on your horse and you ride. Buster, you better get out there and do your VR thing and tell Trey and his friends about all your ideas, and just don't stop. Keep trying, and that's what I've been doing. And I'm just so grateful that you guys show up and listen. It means so much to me. And I haven't been able to say that because of I don't know. I felt like you just needed to deeply understand that I am ready to go now. And you need to assess yourself and be a support network to produce the Green Wolf. And it's going to be an opportunity for us in the most powerful of ways. It's good. It's true love. And a lot of people would be like, this is so good. It's like beyond belief. Well, believe it, Buster, because you're part of it. And part of the reason why you can sense that is because I know that you're alive too, and you're part of this world, and you're part of America, and your life force is part of what's helping this to, awaken and come true. I absolutely, I can do this, you guys. I'm just asking you guys to do your best, and I'm so grateful that you are here. Thank you. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you all and talk to you and be your neighbor and work with you. It's going to be beautiful and amazing, an epiphany of my own life. This is the first time when I'd have like an adult relationship. I'm otherwise like a lonely person, but uh, I'm very eager to meet you guys and work with you. Thank you, South Park Studios. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Trey. Thank you, Matt. All right, let's do this. True love is the answer. It is good.